Back on TYT Sports. So we're going to shoot some back pocket Eclipse. So I don't actually know exactly when these are going up. I think I'll be at NBA Summer League as you're watching these clips, or possibly at my sister's wedding. So it's one of those two. Both are awesome events. One's in Vegas, the other's in New Jersey. Both involve alcohol, which is wonderful. One involves gambling, the other involves dancing. I guess you can also go vice versa. All good stuff. But this clip in particular has to do with the NBA backcourt setting into next season. Now, there's only one player that kind of hangs in the balance. I'm shooting this on Thursday, June 29th. NBA free agency opens at midnight, July 1st, or technically midnight, June 30th, or no, July 1st. That would be 12:01 a.m., so Saturday. So really the only player amongst all of these guys in terms of backcourt effect that would be like who's going to be the best backcourt next year or top five, I think that hangs in the balance is Kyle Lowry. And that's why I have both the Raptors and then a potential landing spots being the Timberwolves and the Spurs when you see these. If he has moved already, don't hate me. I'm sorry, okay? You know, if I say the Raptors or the Timberwolves and the Spurs, and he ends up on the Nets to play with D'Angelo Russell, well, there you go, man. Then they got a good backcourt, and just replace whatever Kyle Lowry's in there. Raptors fans who love Kyle Lowry, he gets some love. And in the back half of the clip, we're going to discuss how there are 6 other backcourts in 5 years that have the potential to just dominate like these backcourts are now, including 3 unbelievably fun pairs that I think should become elite guard, point guard, shooting guard, point guard combos. As for my rankings, completely subjective, but I think you should, and everyone should have the Warriors as the best backcourt in the NBA. They just won the NBA Finals, and I know, Draymond Green, Defensive Player of the Year, Kevin Durant, MVP candidate almost always when he's healthy, and completely lit up the Cavs in 5 games. In the NBA Finals, but that doesn't take away from, one, Klay Thompson's unbelievable defense as a two-way guard in the league, and sure, he went missing for part of the playoffs, but who are we kidding here? Curry and Thompson together, when they're on, are impossible to catch, especially when Klay Thompson can turn his defensive attributes into points on the other end for guys like Curry. Their chemistry has been there for so many years in terms of leading the league in scoring or being up there amongst scoring leaders, and also playing a point guard and shooting guard position. The Warriors have the best backcourt in the NBA, and of course people will be like, oh, the Warriors, of course it's the Warriors, boo. Number 2, this is where the controversy sets in, because this backcourt could be the number 1 backcourt, even though there's going to be growing pains. Chris Paul and James Harden are 2 of the top, I believe, 8 to 9 players, definitely top 10 players in the NBA. Harden coming off an MVP-esque season, and debatably the MVP if you ask certain people. Chris Paul, with the numbers to prove him as a top 5 point guard in the history of the league. Go look at Shane Young's post on it. Just go to @YoungNBA. He's fighting off the haters. I know you can throw the finals records, or he's never been in the finals, the playoff numbers around all you want, man. Chris Paul is a top 5 point guard in league history. He has always been the purest form of point guard in the league, and he's going to get some of the D'Antoni effect, as Andre Snelling wrote up in his Hoops Lab column. Take away the growing pains. Don't criticize just yet. Let's see what happens. But you guys realize, I'm sure, that the ceiling for these 2 players on the same team, with a bunch of shooters on the wings and playing as role pieces, and Clint Capella, who already dominated on the pick and roll with James Harden, now gets one of the best orchestrators in the game to help with that. James Harden's already proven he could be an off-ball threat. As we know, a different version of James Harden did that in Oklahoma City. He did that alongside Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant, extremely high-usage players, although a different form of them. They've evolved into better players at this point, obviously. But now Harden being an off-ball threat where he just has to shoot more and then not create as much, or attack more and do less creating, so the load is a little bit off of his shoulders, that seems like a great job for James Harden. That seems like something that he would thrive in, and something that Chris Paul he'll love getting Harden those open looks. So I believe they make up the second best backcourt in the NBA. Washington Wizards fans, hey man, The Washington Wizards did lose to the Boston Celtics in the NBA playoffs in the Eastern Conference side, but John Wall absolutely proved his dominance as the best point guard in the Eastern Conference. No offense to Kyrie Irving. Best all-around point guard Eastern Conference, John Wall. Best scoring point guard in the Eastern Conference, I'll go with Kyrie Irving. And then the guy who never gets enough respect no matter what anyway, well, that's got to be, of course, Isaiah Thomas, the IT. But who knows what he's going to come back with this year. Do we need to explain too much about John Wall? You can look at this clip of him putting players in the blender. You can look at this clip of putting opposing defenses in the blender. This is him shooting from deep from three when we thought he couldn't do that. Here's another version of him doing these things. Like, the Wizards are a compelling place for Paul George to sign for a one-year rental to really make a splash in the Eastern Conference next year. So we'll see, maybe. I don't think it's going to happen. By this point, by the time this clip is up anyway, Paul George probably isn't even on the Pacers, so I don't even know where he is. Number 4, never enough love. Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum. What else could they do? They scored 40 points each in like the first game of the NBA playoffs against the Golden State Warriors, and they just can't keep up with the firepower. Damian Lillard, the most loyal man, I think, in the NBA right now. I think he's permanently a Blazer. CJ McCollum, the sharpshooter out of Lehigh that no one really gave a shot, and then developed and worked and developed and worked, and you can still watch the workout tapes he's been doing all summer long. A lot of players doing workout tapes, but that guy looks like he's putting in 4 hours in the gym to get better and better and better. I think CJ McCollum is just another great personality for the league. Puts his head down and goes to work night in and night out for a Blazers team that's completely underrated and always counted out. They're going to have a much more difficult time this year with what the Timberwolves have put together, with what the Rockets are going to do. But just don't ever count out what Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum bring to it. They're number 4 on my list. Number 5, if he stays, is the Raptors' Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan. If he goes to the Timberwolves, then they're number 5. And it's Kyle Lowry and Jimmy Butler. And if he leaves and goes to the Spurs, then it's Kyle Lowry and I guess whoever plays shooting guard in this situation. If not, it's not really Kawhi, but if he brings the ball up a lot, I guess Kawhi could be like a 2-3. And also, if the Wolves with Jimmy Butler and just Ricky Rubio, it's tough to kind of put them, I don't know, man. Are they a top 5? Jimmy Butler is a top 12 player in the league. What does that make him? I'm going to let you guys decide that in the comment section below. And then the Celtics, Isaiah Thomas and Avery Bradley, because Isaiah Thomas and Avery Bradley proved last year that all of the ground that's not covered by, I forgot it already. I just ruined the meme. I'm a terrible person. But don't count on Isaiah Thomas. So those are the top 6 backcourts. No offense to Kyrie Irving and J.R. Smith. J.R. Smith, just not enough to crack the top 6 in this instance. I'm probably missing 1 or 2. Shelvin Mack and Rodney Hood, no. Mike Conley never gets a lot of respect, but he should get more when he's healthy. Dragic and what they're doing down in Miami. Again, these are just fringe, like top 10 backcourts, I guess, in the league, if that. Comment below with your best backcourt entering the 2017-2018 season. Should be fun to discuss with the summer. We're coming right back with the best backcourts in 5 years.